What's up, Hakabentai? The name's CoachVIP, and the game is DOA Extreme Venus Vacation. And in this video, we will be discussing all of the Rock Climbing Festival Power to See Through event episodes with my commentary. We're doing it a bit differently this week. I've split up the event episodes as a separate video and my commentary as a separate video. So people who don't necessarily want the recap or to have to follow the timestamps can just jump right in. So let's just jump right in. Rock Climbing Festival event episodes. Power to See Through. Episode 1, Plushies. Now, this is the first time that Monica and Fiona are getting to meet each other, and it is under the pretense of under the circumstances of a pajama party, which is, I guess, Fiona's strategy, and Monica immediately feels that this is, not in a bad way, but this is Fiona taking charge and being aggressive, and that's kind of her initial impressions of Fiona, which I feel like, not knowing terribly much about Fiona prior to this episode, you know, a couple experiences in prior episodes here and there, which I'll talk about later, I wouldn't say that necessarily Fiona is aggressive, but I would definitely say she takes charge. And I thought it was hilarious that then she provides them with their pajama party outfits, and they are obviously, you know, typical DOAXVV swimsuits, if you want to use that word. And Monica thinks that the one that she has is quite bold, and that the whole situation, you know, maybe is a little, I guess, unusual from her perspective. Fiona tries to normalize this by saying she's done this with Kana and Marie, and I mean, you know, if Fiona was, I guess, a man, that this situation could potentially be more uncomfortable, but because they're both ladies and because, you know, it's just supposed to be a way for them to get to know each other and relax, that it should just be a fun and interesting evening for them. Now, Fiona, not being a Hakabentai, but sounding absolutely like a Hakabentai, refers to Monica as being mature, and Monica refers to Fiona as being aggressive, bold, and really cute. Now, they do a handful of sleepover, pajama party related activities. They discuss their outfits, they talk about manicures. Specifically, I thought this was interesting because, you know, it's very consistent with how Monica is. She's very focused on being the very best dealer there ever was, and taking care of her hands, as they are key to her craft, is important to her. But in addition to that, we learn that doing her fingernails, or taking care of her fingernails, and I guess painting them or manicuring them herself, has become a hobby of hers as part of her self-care and as part of her, I guess, you know, another avenue for her to pursue being the very best dealer. Then they talk about essentially pajama party snacks, which Monica refers to her favorite drink, which is kind of consistent with in-game play. The Papanasi gives her more, you know, benefits when you gift it to her, etc., etc. And Fiona's like, cool, let's have a tea party. When they start, I guess, going into the night, Fiona notices, because apparently this is taking place in Monica's room, that there's a big fluffy dog on Monica's bed, and then Fiona actually, you know, notices plushies all over the room. Hence the title of the episode, Plushies. Monica is super embarrassed about this, and I mean, it sounds pretty, I guess, standard. It's not like she's got 20-foot body pillows. It's, you know, a stuffed dog and some other stuffed animals. Now, there's a weird interaction that happens here that I guess this is just me, Hakabentai, but maybe not just me. What up, Hakabentai? So she's admiring all the plushies, and she Fiona, and she requests to give a hug to the big stuffed dog. She says it reminds her of John, ... And Monica asks Fiona, like, oh, John, is that, like, your pet? Like, very specifically. And I don't know if this is a translational thing or because I'm a Hakabentai or whatever. But Fiona just responds, John is my special friend. We always sleep together, but we're apart now. Now, this kind of reminded me of, if you've watched any birthday episode ever, I think in all of the year one birthday episodes I've seen where they give cake, the owner gives the lady cake for her birthday, they talk about the cake in a non-specific way where it almost sounds like they're not talking about cake. And that's kind of what I felt like here. She's talking about John, her special friend, and she uses the word special friend, which, I mean, I can see in just very specific circumstances translating to, like, my pet, John, and he's a dog and needs sleep in my bed and whatever. But I don't know how much of a freak Fiona is, no shade. And so, yeah, I mean, Hakabentai all day. We also learn just I guess, quiz information if I ever decide to create some, like, scavenger hunt giveaway or something. They also mentioned that Monica's pet dogs, she says her pet dog is actually a girl, her plushie, and it's named Ida. So episode 2, Love Takes Strategy. Fiona alludes to the fact that, well, since they're having a pajama party and a sleepover and they're doing, manicures and outfits, they would also have some girl talk. Now, what this means, as Monica kind of cuts through the smoke and mirrors, is she wants to talk about secret crushes. And Fiona's like, actually, I did specifically want to consult you about a crush. It becomes evident in the episode that the person that Fiona might be interested in having a conversation about is the owner. And there's a couple of things that allude to that. There's some specifics later on in this exact episode, but just to reference back to, like, the Atelier Ryza episodes that happened a few weeks ago when she was helping Misaki get the ingredients to help the owner not be so just sleepy boy or girl. She keeps talking about loving the owner. And she does it in a way where she's talking about, like, all of the ladies loving the owner. But Misaki kind of, I think, also picks up on the undertones, which is why in that interaction she kind of denies it. So back to the episode at hand. Fiona's trying to consult Monica about a crush because her butler, which is the first time I mean, apparently Fiona got stacks, so that's what's up. I simp for stacks. Anyway, her butler told her that love requires strategy, and Monica is a strategy specialist based on things that Fiona has heard. And so I think this is ultimately everybody who's had an interaction with Monica either kind of has their own spin on spending time with her or has a way of kind of letting their own personality or their own interests kind of shine through. So it's not just all of these interactions for Monica's benefit, right? Monica absolutely endorses the fact that she's a strategy specialist. She's like, yep, that's me. Which is actually a really cool... I said actually like 5 times, but it's a really cool turn of events from the beauty treatment episode where when she was interacting with Helen, it was clear that she didn't have a lot of confidence, and by the end of that episode series, maybe she was starting to have more confidence herself, and she could see that and value that. And so now here, when Fiona, says like, "Hey, I heard you're a strategy specialist," Monica's like, "That is me, correct. I know about bluffing and I know about poker faces, but since we're talking about love, well, you might need love strats. So you gotta attract his attention." And then she does like a Tamaki pose. You can clearly tell she's been spending too much time with Tamaki because she's doing Tamaki poses that are very like seductive. And she's like, "You know what? I am pretty sure you could pull this off," even though Fio's kind of embarrassed about it. And she's like, "Don't worry, you should just practice on the owner." So this is the other sign that it's Fiona's thinking about the owner as her crush, because she says, well, that wouldn't be practice, and she kind of rejects that suggestion. Now, I don't think Monica fully is on the same page that I am at this point. Like, I don't think Monica specifically thinks Theo is crushing on the owner. Just because of the way the rest of the conversation plays out. But Monica speaks more generically then. So she's like, what you want to do is you want to gain intel. And she's like, I know how to play the owner all day. He promised me a casino, and you be sure that I'm going to get it. Then Fiona remembers, like, okay, that reminds me. The owner wanted me to tell you that we're going to have a welcome party for you, which, I mean, how many episodes has it been? Although, to be fair, I mean, Monica's still paid only, so, you know, many owners probably aren't welcoming her to the island yet. So, you know, they discuss about how late this welcome party is. And Monica's like, well, I've already met everybody, and everybody has their unique characteristics and their unique strengths, and, you know, I've kind of experienced that, so, like, we'll see what this welcome party is all about. And then she references, I guess, Fiona's just being nice and, like, trying to get to know her as, like, a strategy, which is so Monica to think. Like, she's, like, always kind of in that mindset, and I can identify and relate to that a little bit, kind of always being on and always kind of thinking about things from a strategic standpoint. But I think that in a situation like this, when it's like pajama party, and I think that that's part of the outfit situation, all this is like, a lot of these things are to help Monica relax, because she's very, very laser focused, let's say, and type A. But Monica in this situation can really appreciate that, you know, her perceived bold, aggressive, strong style of Fiona. Episode 3, I see right through you. So Monica tries to show up and be like, surprise, owner. Surprise! You thought you could get this welcome party on me. I've got you all figured out. But I have to ask you, what have your true intentions been? She kind of thinks back to the different competitions she had with all of the ladies on the island, and how they all had unique strengths, and how she specifically feels like she has grown and become substantially stronger because of this. Owner-san, we're over here like, nope. We just want to put you in hard situations and experience a lot of acute pressure, and then see how you'd respond and what sort of trump cards you would use. Monica rejects this idea. She's basically like, all the ladies on this island are lovely. I think you're full of crap. I would never use trump cards on them. I legit only use trump cards on you because you are just so easy to fool. And, you know, she has us pegged. In my opinion, I think that, you know, like, we leave and we're like, hey, we got to get everybody ready, but she's not really buying it. And I agree with her. Like, even, I guess, being the owner, but being in the owner's shoes, I think that, and I think I probably said it before, this whole thing was to kind of expedite Monica interacting with all the different ladies on the island and learning from the valuable and vast, varied experiences and expertise that they all have, to kind of help make Monica an even better, even more well-rounded, and even more excellent dealer. My name's CoachVIP, and thank you for watching this video. We hope you enjoyed your time at Team VIP headquarters, and we look forward to providing you with more high-quality content in the future. Be sure to check us out on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Patreon. Thank you so much, and we'll catch you next time.